Welcome back to episode 9 of A Very British Park. First things first, we've got quite a bit of admin to do. 3 weeks ago we placed down our KMG Afterburner and I asked for a name. I decided to go with the most liked suggestion because that's democracy. So I'm proud to present Swooping Seagull. DPM04 will now take the form of our very first security guard. Coaster Creations made the brilliant suggestion that our Afterburner can be the one set to be removed from Lightwater Valley in North Yorkshire. I love adding bits of lore to the park as we build, so make sure to comment any of your ideas as we go. Coaster Creations is now officially our second security guard. The following week, I asked you to come up with a name for our Huss Topspin. Quite a few of you suggested Tsunami, however I felt it best to stay away from natural disasters. The name I chose was Rolling Tide by Onyx Wildcat. Well, I tell a lie. Their full suggestion was Rolling Tide of Doom, but I'll tell you what, we can reserve its full title for Halloween events. For your service to the park, and because I may or may not have discovered your very impressive Jack Sparrow impression, you will now forever roam the beach zone dressed as a pirate. In case you're not already aware, you can now become a patron of the channel and receive various benefits based on your pledge. One of these includes early access to these videos each week. Who wouldn't want that? Whilst on the topic of third parties, we also have a Discord server where you can chat with me directly and get sneak peek screenshots for upcoming episodes, so come and join. All links can be found in the description. Finally, I'm overjoyed to announce that we have surpassed 500 subscribers. In fact, as I write this, we're over 600, so who knows where we'll be by the time you're hearing this. I just want to say thank you to everyone for your support, and here's to reaching 1k. Right, with all that out of the way, we can get on with today's episode. This week is bloody mental. We build a flat ride and 2 shops. I can barely control my excitement. To fill in this odd-shaped gap next to the bunker, I placed down a good old-fashioned drop tower. What park is complete without one? I laid down a concrete pad before fencing everything off. As you'll see, I've already named this ride because, well, honestly I was feeling a bit left out. Plus, with the shape of the ride and being in close proximity to the bunker, Missile felt like the perfect name. I matched the scenery to that of the silo we made last week and added some vents and corrugated metal. People often ask me how I'm so good at realism. The answer is simple. I directly copy from real-life references. Anything from Google Images to real-life observations. For this here, it's a direct rip-off of a piece of environmental scenery I saw in Hitman. As I've previously mentioned, to keep the realism going, I like to use real-life brands. For this mini main street, I used 3 of said brands, starting with a Starbucks. I used modern brick and smooth concrete walls, followed by wooden beams and decking. For the signage, I used this TMTK logo and lettering. After having an argument with a restaurant, I gave in and moved it to one side where it wanted to be. I created a small outdoor seating area using more decking, barriers, and cafe tables and chairs. I made a pergola using wooden pillars. I also learnt the word pergola. A bit of clutter and some nighttime lighting and the Starbucks is almost complete. I set the menu to Street Fox Coffee, added expansions, and chose the Internet Access perk. On the extremely rare occasion it's a nice day in the UK, it's great to have a little picnic area. I created this using Victorian tile, concrete footers and fencing. I then extended the concrete foundation from the maintenance area all the way across to the new patio. I tiled the upper level before placing down some benches and parasols. I popped a gate onto the service road and gave it the usual signage. I felt we were lacking some greenery, so I made a small planter using pillars, mulch, and nature. As far as fast food restaurants go, my favourite is easily KFC. Plot twist, he's not a vegetarian. Once again, I used some reference imagery to build our own Kentucky Fried Chicken for the park. I did so using wooden wall pieces, gloss tile pillars, beams, and art shapes. I used a video wall panel and some custom imagery to create the iconic signage. Just as before, I set the menu, added expansions, and this time went for free condiments. I extended everything backwards to a size that seemed reasonable before adding a roof. A bit of ducting and AC and KFC is done. At this point I was unsure of what this building was going to be, so I put some plaster walls in as a placeholder. I then moved to the other side to again make some sort of nondescript building. Maybe some sort of storage, who knows? To disguise this warehouse building, I added a facade directly stolen from Pleasurewood Hills theme park, followed by a fire exit. With the quantity of shops on Main Street, there would need to be a fairly substantial delivery area. I added a shutter to the back of KFC, some more fire exits, and then fenced off a decent sized space with access to the perimeter path. I chucked in a whole bunch of clutter, including boxes, pallets, barrels and such. I finished this area off with some security cameras before moving back over to our placeholder building. I thought long and hard about something incredibly British to put on this corner. At first, it was just going to be a traditional pub, and then it hit me. What's more British than the sticky carpets of a JD Wetherspoon? Is this the first spoons to be in a theme park? More than likely, but it wouldn't be the first time they claimed an oddly located building. For those of you across the pond, I'm told the closest thing you have to a Wetherspoons is an Applebee's. To sum it up, cheap food, cheap beer, and at least 5 old men drinking ale on their own. I created some glass frontage using beams, panels, and glass. I then made the sign out of basic shapes, beams, and TMTK lettering. I added some ashtrays and tables and chairs before adding some condiments. But knowing Wetherspoons, most of them are empty anyway. And there we have it, a drop tower, Starbucks, KFC and a Spoons all in one tiny episode. Enjoy these cinematics whilst I dream of a time when lockdown ends and I can go have a full meal and a pint for less than £10.